Welcome to Women Unleashed.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Women Unleashed. Right, so today I wanted to cover all things Dubai. I get questions all the time in regards to moving here, how did I move here, what's work like, what's life like, everything. So I put up a Q&A not long ago on my story, and I had a few questions that I'll answer. But first, I thought it makes sense for me to kind of go into why I moved here, how I moved here, etc. So I moved here, I think it was 2021, if I remember rightly. And prior to that, I came just on holiday to see my friend because she'd just moved here. I came for New Year, end of 2020, and I was like, I really like it. I really, really like it. I stayed for, a couple of weeks, and then I was like, oh, I'll just extend, as everybody in Dubai does. Everybody always extends the stay. And I was like, oh, I need to go back. So I went back, but I remember saying to her, I went, look, take my word for it. I will be back sooner than you think. So what did I do? I went home, quit my job, sold everything, and then I moved here with absolutely no plans whatsoever. I didn't have a job. I didn't have nowhere to live. I just risked my life, which I actually covered this in a different podcast before. So if you want more on that front as to how I quit my job and why, then go listen to one of the other episodes. But yeah, so I just literally took the risk and just moved here and I stayed with her. Now, she was only in a studio and, she's my best friend. So we was like, you know what, we'll live here together. We'll save some money. Fine. So yeah, me and her just shared a bed, a studio, like you do. And it was fine. It wasn't, wasn't ideal, but it wasn't terrible. We were living in Dubai. Like we had the best time. We're so close. So it didn't really matter. So that was that. I ended up just coming over and then I was like, right, well, I lived off savings for a little while. So if you come into Dubai, you need to have savings. Like I will say this over and over again, you need to have savings. If you don't have savings and you don't have a job, you're screwed. You're going to be flat on your ass straight away. So I lived off my savings a little bit. But with it being Dubai, the savings didn't last very long. Okay. So things are expensive here. But also there's a lot to do. So you tend to spend a lot more than what you would normally in the UK. Because what do you do in the UK? Like it's the weekend and it's raining. You just sit at home. Do you know what I mean? Here you go to beach clubs, you do this, you do that. Like it's constant. Your social life is huge. So if you have a huge social life in the UK, then whoa, your social life would be just literally incredible here. So I decided to get a job at a clinic, worked there for a bit before I established my full business online. Anyway, I'm now fine financially. Like, it took a while to get here in terms of figuring out what I was doing with work. Now, I'll touch on the work topic first because a lot of people ask me, well, how do you get a job there? What sort of jobs are they? So, a lot of people that live in Dubai are either cabin crew for Emirates or teachers. Like, that is the saturated market or real estate. Okay, they're like the three main areas that people work within. And if you're a teacher, if you're cabin crew, you have a sweet life. You get your accommodation paid for. You get all the deals on like brunches and eating out, etc. Like you have it sweet. If you actually want a real job, which well, I'm not saying them other jobs aren't real. Sorry, like if anyone's cabin crew, that's not what I'm saying. If you want to get a job outside of that, should I say, then it is a little bit more difficult and you will probably be working 6 days a week. So I at one stage thought, you know what, I'll get a job in a gym and just PT for a little bit. 6 days a week. 6 days a week they wanted me to work, which is fine. But then you don't have a life. What's the point living in Dubai if you're going to work 6 days a week? Do you know what I mean? It was intense. And I was like, not for me. I've just come out of a nursing job. I do not want to do that. Okay. I was like, not a chance. Did consider nursing for a little while. Yes, it's great money. But again, you don't have a life. You work 6 days a week and you'd actually have to go to Abu Dhabi to get the better pay. Dubai pay is not as good with nursing. So if something you're considering, then I would definitely go to Abu Dhabi. If you just want to take a year out, and just work and make loads of money, do it. Absolutely amazing. But if you want to live here full time and work as a nurse, again, it is very intense. I know girls that love it and I know girls who hate it because they don't have no life and the shift patterns are all over the place. So they're like them two jobs. In real estate, again, I was going to get into that, but the thought of not actually getting paid until you make a deal didn't scare me, but you don't know how you're going to get on with that. You don't get paid in real estate, so you need savings behind you. And I know a lot of people who have done it, thought they could do it. and then quit because they were just running out of money and running out of savings. So make sure if you want to come to Dubai that you have your job lined up. Like if your company offers it, or, start looking before you come out here, because there are plenty of opportunities. Dubai is the land of opportunity. Now, if you want to make your life amazing and you're a hard worker, you're a grafter, then I would 110% say come to Dubai. The networking, the connections, the people that you meet here is just crazy. Like you'll go to a brunch and you'll meet a CEO of Pretty Little Thing. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not what happened, but that's what I'm saying. This is the potential that you have in Dubai if you are one of these people. Another question that I get asked, or people say, "Oh, I'd love to have your life. You look like you're just partying all the time. You're living your life." No, I'm not. Trust me, I ain't. I still work Monday to Friday and I work weekends as well. But what I do is I work from nicer locations. So I will sometimes sit at home because it is expensive to work out all the time. A coffee costs me £6, £7 every time. And if you're out and about, you're like, oh, I might get some food. So I do work a lot, but I just choose a nicer location to work from. So cafes, if I don't have any calls, I'll work from a beach club. And, I am privileged to be able to do that because I live in such a beautiful place. Whereas in the UK, I can still work from cafes. It just doesn't feel the same. I'm sat outside in the sun here, working away, fine. So if you have your own business and you are able to move countries and you're thinking about it, do it, because the environment changes your mood and your perspective a lot. If you are around the right people, like-minded people who are really focused on business, who are focused on bettering themselves, then why would you not? If you can have a better life doing what you're doing now, but in a different country, do it. And and then it comes to obviously the weekends. And yes, I enjoy my weekends. Yes, I will go out and I will spend and I will do things. Now, it ain't cheap, but again, Dubai isn't cheap. Now, a lot of people say, like, is it the same as UK prices? If you actually look at, your renting cars and everything that I will go into shortly, it's actually cheaper than London. But if even eating out, probably the same prices as London. But the good thing about here is a lot of places do redeemable. So say if you go to a beach club, you'll pay like 50, 60 quid for a beach bed, but all of it or some of it will be redeemable on food. So effectively, you're getting a beach on the bed and you're spending your money on food anyway. So it makes sense. There are places where you have to pay and you don't get redeemable, but you just have to be savvy with it. There are things like if you're a girl, guys, actually, I don't know if TSS is for guys. There's like the Secret Society, the A-list, like where a lot of girls go and get invited to events for free. So if you're a girl, you've got a good following, you get that for free as well. Do you know what I mean? But a lot of the time, I spend my time in beach clubs. I'm not really a clubby person. I'll go to an event every now and again if there's someone good on, because Dubai has very good artists performing. Like insane people come here and the tickets are so cheap as well. So you may as well do it. But yeah, that's kind of my social life. And there's also other great activities to do, like wholesome stuff. Yes, the brunches are good and they're worth your money and everybody used to love brunches, but I've actually not seen anyone do brunches in a very long time. I feel like they've quietened down a little and I'm not sure why. The beach clubs are the places to go now. But yeah, like you can literally go to a game boards cafe. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. It's so fun and it's so cheap. You can go to Hatta, the mountains, you do a mountain climb. You can do kayaks, water sports. Like there's so many museums, like Museum of the Future, Alaya. Like there's so many good things that you can do in Dubai that you probably won't be able to do anywhere else, that don't actually cost that much money. And you get to experience different things. There's like a Mario go-kart thing as well, like a course that you go around. Do you know what I mean? Dubai comes up with the most extravagant things ever that you probably won't find anywhere else in the world. There's water parks, there's Top Golf. Like the list is never ending. And if you go into Dubai or want to come to Dubai and you want some ideas on where to go, what to do, you can drop me a message. Not a problem. If you want some places to go to eat, I'm here to tell you, because I love trying new places all the time. And Dubai, I swear, opens a new restaurant or multiple restaurants every single week. So I feel like I always try to go somewhere new. There's never a time where I'm like, oh, I don't know where to go, because the food is incredible wherever you go, even like the bowling alley. Do you know what I mean? You'll go to that in the UK and you're like scampy little dirty frozen burgers or something. Here's like the food is sensational, sis. It is incredible. So if you're a foodie, come to Dubai. Habibi, come to Dubai. This brings me on to the next topic of what I started talking about and then deviated because that's how my brain works at the moment. It's all over the place. Is rent, cars, etc. Now, look, it's not the cheapest, but if you live, like in the north of the UK or like, Yorkshire, them places, Dubai might seem expensive to you then. If you're living alone, it will seem expensive to you then as well. It's always a lot more expensive than when you share with someone. So rent can be as cheap or as expensive as you like it, choosing on the areas that you want to live in. So we have the good old ghetto JVC, where initially 2, 3 years ago, it was the cheapest place to live, and everybody was coming here because it was mega cheap and it wasn't too far out, 20 minutes out. We are now 2 years, 2, 3 years in, and the prices are astronomical, like everywhere. So I've got a one bed at the moment, and I'm paying £1,800 a month, okay, for a one bed. Now, that is a lot, but that is because I'm paying monthly because I'm here, there, and everywhere. Like I've been in and out of Dubai for 3 years now, and I'll spend half a year here, half a year somewhere else. Like I'm not fully here all the time. So I'm paying on a monthly basis, which is more expensive. But if you want to get, a one bed long term, so say sign at least for a year, that'd probably cost you, I don't know, like 90 to 100K, which is probably like £18,000 for the year. Again, London prices may be a little bit cheaper. Again, if you were someone else, a lot cheaper. If you want a studio, again, cheaper. And depending what areas. So if you want to live, Business Bay, downtown, Marina, the Palm, like it's way more expensive. Your cheaper places is like Al Ain, Dubai South, which is somewhere you don't want to be. You're basically living in the desert. JVC is your cheaper area. Like there are areas that are cheaper, but it just depends what you want for convenience wise. If I would say everywhere in Dubai is like a 20, 30 minute drive from one another, like each area. So Dubai is very small. It's not a big place. So I wouldn't even worry that you have to get a cab somewhere because taxis are super cheap. You'll pay like from the airport, for example, to JVC, which is like a 30-minute drive, it's about 20 quid for a taxi, which isn't a lot for a 30, 40-minute drive. In the UK, that costs you near enough 100 quid probably. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that are not expensive. And then I go on to fuel. Fuel is so cheap and it is the best thing ever here because you pull up in your little car or big car, whatever you've got, you pull up and you don't even have to get out of the car, right? You don't have to get out. They come up to you and they fill your car up. And it costs me about 20 quid to fill up my small car. If you've got a bigger car, probably like 30 quid to fill up a full tank, which again is super cheap. Bearing in mind the prices in the UK for fuel are astronomical you know? And the funny thing is now about Dubai, like obviously with people coming to fill your car up for you, you think, oh, well, that's just so lazy. No, it's not. It's convenient. It's very convenient. It's not lazy. It's time efficiency, which Dubai is huge on. Like if you think about it this way, all big business people live here. All businessmen, businesswomen, like they want efficiency. They want more time to put into their business. So, for example, if getting out of your car to go put fuel in, to go then and pay, blah, blah, blah. This takes out a few minutes out of your day, but all these minutes over the years build up. So it's efficient and I love it. I sometimes go back to the UK and it's cold and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get out of my car and put in my fuel. And that makes me sound so stuck up. But you don't understand, once you kind of get that treatment, you don't want to go back. You don't want it to stop. You're like, oh no. Another convenient thing, or multiple convenient things, is InstaShop, Deliveroo, all these delivery things. What else? You get your laundry done for you, everything. Anything you require. So InstaShop is an amazing app, and if you're in Dubai, you need to download it. It's got supermarkets, pharmacies, like it's got everything on there. Whatever you need, say it's midnight and you're like, oh, I really fancy a Kit Kat. I don't know why a Kit Kat, but you fancy a Kit Kat. Order InstaShop, bam, it'll be with you in 5 minutes. If, I don't know, you clean it and you run out of a cleaning product, order, bam, here in 5 minutes. If your phone charger breaks, you need a phone charger, bam, InstaShop, it's here within 5 minutes. Like, it is insane. Like, everything is just so convenient. You can get it anytime, anywhere. If you want a massage, you just go on Just Life. If you want to order a clean for the house, Just Life. If you want a manicure, pedicure, they come to your house. Everything is done for you to save you traveling and to save you time. So it's very convenient. convenient. If you're a businessman, businesswoman, and you need efficiency, come to Dubai. You will have it. For people that, have normal jobs, again, it's very convenient. I go get my nails, well, I don't get my nails done, they come here. I get my nails and my toes done, and I pay like 60 quid probably for both, and they come to my house. I don't have to leave. I will sit here, I will do some work whilst they do my hands and my feet, and they do it at the same time. So I'm not sat here for 3-4 hours getting my toes and my nails done. Everything's done at the same time. I remember going to hair salon and I needed a blow dry, I needed my manicure, and I needed my pedicure. And I was like, how would this would normally take like 4 or 5 hours if you had it all done individually. They did it all at the same time, right? She's blow drying my hair. There's another a girl each on my hands and then doing my feet. I was out of that salon in an hour and a half. I was so damn happy. I could not tell you. Again, convenience, time saving, efficiency. We're all about that. I hate wasting time. You know what I mean? And girls, you know what I mean when like you go and you have to wait and wait for your nails to be done like an hour and a half. If someone's slower than 2 hours, depends what you're having done, and your bum's numb and everything's itchy and you're just like, oh, like I can't be bothered sitting here anymore. So yeah, again, very good. If you go to the right places, it's not too expensive. What your nails probably cost you like 30-40 quid in the UK. I pay 60 for both here. So probably around the same price. If you go to like the higher end if you go to the bigger salons, you're probably going to pay more, but that's just like anyway, you go to the premium, you get the premium. I get the 2 Filipino girls to come and do my nails, and they do an absolute cracking job. So that's the beauty side of things. Lashes, hair, everything else, very much on similar price ranges to London. What else have we got to discuss? What else did somebody ask me? Dating life in Dubai. Well, if you're looking for a serious relationship, you ain't finding it here. And I remember when I first came here, I was under the illusion that I will. And I did. You know what I did? I found the love of my life. I was happy. It was very uncommon, unheard of to find a boyfriend or a girlfriend in Dubai and, settle with them, because people here sleep about. Everyone knows everyone's business. Everyone's been with each other. Dubai is very small and it's like a community. You'll see groups, and yeah, it's just very full on. I mean, you'll do a lot of good dating. If you want to date, you'll go to really nice restaurants, really nice places. And if you find the right men or women and they'll take you to really nice places, then girls got to eat. Go eat out. Enjoy it. Enjoy your date, But don't expect it to get any further than that, because trust me, the toxicity in Dubai is insane. I mean, there's toxicity everywhere, but I feel like Dubai is very toxic. And I speak to quite a lot of people about this, and a lot of people agree with me that people are toxic here. And I don't know what it is, whether people think they're better than everyone else or what it is, but it's crazy. Like, everyone slags each other off. Everyone, knows your business. Everyone stirs shit. Like, yeah. You just got to keep yourself to yourself and keep your circle small, as you should anyway. And I've learned it the hard way, over the years of being here. I've actually found out who are the people who serve me and who are the people who don't. And I've cut quite a lot of people off due to that, because I was like, you are serving me no purpose in life right now. You are just toxic, you're a mess, and I don't want you in my life. So I've actually put up my boundaries and I've worked on it, and I've decided that I'm trying to be good. But in terms of dating, like I say, it's a very hit and miss place here. I know a couple of people that have got into relationships fine. I know a lot of people who are just being messed about by men, or men by women as well. I'm not being sexist here. I don't want to get cancelled for this, but a lot of people just mess about, just come here to mess about. So if you want to settle, maybe find someone somewhere else. Like, a lot of people are here for a good time, not a long time. Do you know what I mean? Like, people come here to stay for a few years and see what it's like and then go back. Again, it comes down to the party scene as well. A lot of people party. If you're in your 20s to 30s, maybe even older people, I won't say that you're old above 30, but 20 to 30, a lot of people party, don't they? Like, they go out every weekend, and they might not have the same values as you. Yes, there are some amazing people here that are, very business focused and have got their head screwed on and can still go out and have a good time. But there are a lot of wastemen. Again, I'm probably going to get cancelled for saying this, but it's true. People that just go out every single weekend, every single night, and just do the same old. I'm like, how are you even living? How are you surviving this? How are you able to afford to go out every single weekend drinking? Like, I just don't get it. It's just not for me. Like, each to their own. I mean, I'm not going to slag people off here because I definitely did my fair share of partying when I first came here with my best friend, but we didn't go out every single night. We had our weekends, we enjoyed ourselves, whatever. It was fun. And I feel like when you first come to Dubai, you have to do that. But if you've lived here 3, 4 years and you are still doing that 3, 4 years later, please reassess your values because it will eat you. Dubai can eat you alive. You can come here and you can have all the money in the world, but if you're not careful and if you're not being wary of where you're spending and you haven't got your income coming in constantly and you're not growing as a business, you'll probably end up in the dumps and probably have to go back home. Again, nothing wrong with that. But am I selling Dubai here? I feel like I'm really not selling it. I feel like I'm really not selling the people here. Maybe it's just because I've had bad experiences with people. But no, honestly, this time round, I've come back and I've kept my circle really small. I've kept myself to myself and I've kept good people around me, which has definitely helped with my Dubai experience. And, I've done my summer here, incredibly hot, super, super hot, not enjoyable. A lot of people leave. Last year I left. Year before that I didn't. I actually did summer here. This year I'm leaving again. Just because, yeah, it's hot, it's uncomfortable, but why would you stay here if you have got the ability to move about? If you do have to stay here, don't worry. Like you can still survive. The sea feels like bathwater, but you can still survive. You think it's not like the UK. Like you have air conditioning everywhere you go here, in your house, in the malls, like literally everywhere you go, you have aircon. So you don't tend to feel it as much as you would in the UK when there's 30 degrees and everyone's dying because they've got no air conditioning and then fans are doing absolute fuck all. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's not as bad as people say it is, but it is hot and it is humid and it is uncomfortable, like it would be in the desert in the peak of summer. So another thing that I wanted to kind of cover is food, because I feel like I've touched on, rent, petrol. Oh, I need to cover cars as well. So food is a bit more on the pricier end. Again, it depends where you shop. I go to Carrefour and I get organic stuff because of my protocol, but you can get things that are much cheaper. So, like you've got your Lulu's, you've got Vivo, which is like Lidl, and it is cheap. So you can get really cheap food here as well. You can probably for myself, I could probably do like 60 quid, depending on what you eat. I eat a lot of meat, so it costs me a little bit more. So food's not that expensive. Fuel's not expensive. Cars. Now, I rent a car because no point me buying a car because I'm never here long enough to warrant buying a car. So I rent a car and people see me on social media in my little Chev Sparky. I always get the same car when I come here. Couple of reasons. Reason number one, it's the cheapest car. Probably cost me £330 a month to rent. Okay. Number two, it's small. It fits in everywhere. And if you've driven in Dubai or you've been to Dubai, you know that there's no parking. Everywhere's full and people drive like madmen. So if you're small, you literally fit in everywhere. So my Spark has done me a world of good. People laugh at me like, such a little shitty car. Yes, it is. And once I settle, trust me, I will be getting my dream car of a GLC. But right now, at this moment in time, my Sparky serves me a great purpose and I'm super grateful for it because the other day, guess what? There was a flood in Dubai again. And everyone's driving through the floods and getting stuck, like on the roads. And I thought, obviously, I'm going to get stuck if I go through the middle of it. So I decided to curb it. So I'm there driving on the curb in my little Sparky. Everyone's getting stuck. And I'm like, see you later, bitches. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's done me good. And obviously, if it was my car, I probably wouldn't go out when it's flooded, but it's rental. So hopefully, whoever owns that rental company ain't listening to my podcast. I doubt it. But anyway, Spark is fine if you are listening. What else did I want to mention in terms of the car? Oh, as to another reason why it's good. Because the amounts of accidents that happen on roads here and the state of all the cars being scratched and scraped because people don't know how to drive is insane. So having a nice car here, be ready to fork out on repairs and other people bumping you and car crashes. Swear to God. I must see about 2 to 3 crashes daily, whether it's little moped delivery drivers that I feel really sorry for under cars, but they do drive like idiots, like in between swerving everyone, or, a big car, like I've seen sports cars and everything like mashed up in the middle of the road because people cannot drive. And again, roads in Dubai, you know how you have an exit to come off in the UK on the motorway, and then you'll have another one to come on? Like in Dubai, on and off are the same one. So you see people like this crossing over. It's insane. Like, this is what causes traffic because people trying to get off, people trying to come on, and you're just all stuck there like this in traffic for about an hour. And the traffic has got so much worse within the last year or two. It is dreadful. That's one thing that puts me really puts me off Dubai. But another reason why I love Dubai, and I feel like I've been giving pros and cons. Like, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to be saying it's this amazing place or the shit place. I want to give pros and cons. Like, you get to have the beach on your doorstep. You get to have this beautiful place. You can go to, Abu Dhabi, which is around the corner with a beautiful mosque, which is absolutely incredibly busy and not as it looks on social media, but it was beautiful. You've got Al Ain, you'll got Oman close by. You've got so many places that you can still see within the UAE that are absolutely beautiful, and you may as well see whilst you're over here if you want to move. So I feel like it was a nice, sweet, short episode, but I feel like I covered quite a lot in terms of Dubai there. So my short answer is if you want to move here, do it. Just have savings. Like, have savings behind you, have a plan, maybe have a job. Try not doing what I did because you're going to put yourself under so much stress and you won't enjoy it. Oh, gyms. I forgot to mention gyms. There are so many good gyms. Gyms, like, I can't even tell you how many gyms there are in Dubai. So there's thousands, and classes and everything else. Dubai is for everyone, and it's very, very family friendly. It's very safe. It is for everybody. If you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're a family and you want to come over, no matter where in the world you're from, it's very multicultural. It's amazing. So 100%, if you haven't been, come over for a holiday first, see how you like it. However, being on holiday and living here are very two different things. So if you've got the ability to, come over, see how you like it, have savings behind you, have a job lined up, and enjoy it. And if you need any advice on where to go with, living arrangements, with where to get your cars, where's the best places to go for dinner, etc., drop me a message at Defined by Dom on Instagram or at womenunleashed.podcast. And I'm more than happy to give you some pointers, tips, and just help you out with it, because I kind of wish that somebody told me all this before I came over, just to make me more aware, but they didn't. It's fine. I found out for myself and I learned myself. So now I can pass on the knowledge to you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it was a little bit insightful for you in terms of Dubai, and I'll see you next week in next week's episode.